Have you ever felt her slowly pulling away? The way her touch fades, her smile disappears, and her eyes stop meeting yours. You ask what's wrong, but instead of answers you get confusion. She flips the script so smoothly you begin questioning yourself. Was it something you did, or is it all in your head? Men, that's not miscommunication, that's manipulation. And if you miss it, the cost is brutal. Wasted years, shattered trust, and a heart that may never fully heal. This is why we're here. Welcome to Stoic Reflections, where timeless philosophy meets the brutal truths of modern relationships. Here, we strip away the illusions and expose the games that drain men of their dignity. Because the Stoics taught us a truth most men forget. Life will betray you, people will deceive you, but nothing has the power to break you unless you hand them your soul. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Yet in love today, truth is often twisted and disguised. That's why you must learn to see beyond her words and trust what your instincts already know. So let me ask you, how many nights have you replayed her excuses? "I'm just tired, I need space. You're too controlling, let's be honest." Deep inside you knew something wasn't right, but you silenced yourself out of fear of losing her. Here, we don't silence the truth, we face it. We confront the lies that weaken men, and we rebuild with clarity, strength, and discipline. This isn't just another channel, it's a brotherhood, a place where men stop chasing illusions and start reclaiming their power. So if you've ever doubted yourself because her story didn't match her actions, stay with me. Because today we expose the 4 lies women tell before betrayal. And once you recognize them, you'll never fall for them again. This is Stoic Reflections, and your awakening starts now. 1. I just haven't been in the mood lately. Men, this is the most common lie women tell before crossing the line. And the reason it works so well is because it sounds so damn reasonable. Who hasn't felt drained after a long day? Who hasn't blamed stress, work, or hormones for a lack of desire? On the surface, her excuse makes perfect sense, and that's exactly why most men fall for it. But here's the truth that many of you already feel deep in your gut. When a woman truly loves you, stress doesn't push her away, it pulls her closer. Even in exhaustion, she still craves your arms around her. Maybe not wild passion every night, but closeness, comfort, and the safety of your presence. Real love doesn't shut down affection, it seeks it out. So when she suddenly loses all interest in touching you, when weeks or months go by without intimacy, when she even flinches at your hand on her back, that's not about stress, that's redirection. Her body didn't stop wanting intimacy, it stopped wanting intimacy with you. And here's the brutal psychology behind it. When a woman begins investing emotionally in another man, intimacy with you feels like betrayal, not of you, but of him. The new man becomes her emotional center, and you become the obstacle. Touching you feels wrong, even repulsive, because she's protecting the bond she's secretly building elsewhere. This is why you'll notice contradictions. With you, she's too tired, but with the world, she's suddenly alive again. New clothes, new workouts, extra time in front of the mirror. Perfume she hasn't worn in years. Selfies, lingerie, glow-ups, all while she tells you she's drained. That's not coincidence. That's transfer of desire. And men, here's the mistake most of you make. You think patience will fix it. You think being more supportive, more understanding, more accommodating will bring her back. But no amount of patience will restore desire that has already shifted elsewhere. So what should you do? Don't argue, don't beg, don't accuse. Just observe. Watch the contrast between her lack of closeness with you and her sudden energy for everything else. Ask yourself honestly, is this really about stress, or is it about her desire moving away from you? Because here's the truth. The right woman may get tired, but she will never be too tired for your closeness. She may be exhausted, but she'll still want your presence, your touch, your comfort. If all of that vanishes while her energy for the outside world explodes, you already know what's happening. This is the first red flag. When she says, "I just haven't been in the mood lately," don't get lost in the words. Watch the actions, because actions never lie. 2. I just want to focus on myself right now. At first, this sounds noble. It sounds enlightened. Who wouldn't want a partner who invests in her mental health, who wants to grow, who talks about self-improvement and healing? You hear these words and you probably even feel proud. She's doing the inner work. She's maturing. This must be good for both of us. But men, here's the hard truth. When a woman truly wants to grow inside a healthy relationship, she includes you in that process. She doesn't build walls of silence. She brings you closer. She says, "I learned something about myself and I want to share it with you." She reads a book on boundaries and says, "Let's talk about how this applies to us." Real growth is collaborative. It strengthens the bond instead of weakening it. When she suddenly insists on focusing on herself in total isolation, when every attempt you make to be part of her journey is met with resistance, when she treats your presence as an obstacle instead of a support, that's not self-care. That's self-separation. That's her building a version of herself that no longer includes you. And here's the cruel twist. She'll make you feel guilty for even wanting to be part of her life. She'll call you controlling. She'll say you're unsupportive. She'll accuse you of holding her back. She reframes your natural desire to stay connected as proof that you don't respect her independence. In other words, she weaponizes self-growth against you. I've seen this pattern again and again in men I counsel. A girlfriend starts talking about healing her inner child, finding her authentic self, focusing on her journey. At first, he supports it wholeheartedly. He pays for her workshops, encourages her new habits, listens to her ideas. But slowly he notices the shift. The workshops are suddenly for her only. The journaling is private. The books are never shared. Every conversation about growth excludes him, and every time he asks questions, she accuses him of suffocating her. Meanwhile, her new self-focus just happens to involve staying out later, meeting new friends he's never introduced to, and spending hours online in places he's never invited. Eventually, he realizes the painful truth. She wasn't growing for their relationship. She was creating the emotional distance she needed to justify betraying it. Men understand this clearly. Genuine self-growth brings two people closer. Fake self-growth pushes one away. One says, "I'm learning and I want to share it with you." The other says, "I'm learning and your presence is in the way." The Stoics remind us that growth is not selfish. It is a path to virtue. Seneca said, "No man can live happily who regards himself alone." True development always expands outward. It includes, it builds, it connects. So here's your test. If her growth journey consistently excludes you, if she frames your love as an obstacle to her progress, it's not self-improvement, it's groundwork for leaving. This is the second red flag, when she says, "I just want to focus on myself right now." Don't get distracted by how noble it sounds. Watch what it does. Because if her growth creates distance instead of closeness, you're not witnessing healing, you're witnessing separation. 3. You're being too controlling. This is one of the most clever lies because it flips the script instantly. You ask a simple, reasonable question. Where were you last night? Or who were you texting during dinner? And suddenly, instead of clarity, you're under attack. She tells you you're insecure, toxic, possessive, that you're the problem. Men, listen carefully. When a woman has nothing to hide, her natural response to questions is clarity, not combat. She reassures you, she explains, she's open. Because when someone is telling the truth, transparency flows effortlessly. But when she's hiding something, every question feels like a threat. Every answer risks exposure. So instead of answering, she attacks. She reframes your curiosity as abuse. She makes you question your sanity for having basic relationship needs. And if you're not careful, you'll spend months or even years apologizing for simply wanting honesty. I've seen this play out countless times. A man notices his girlfriend hiding her phone at night. He casually asks, "Who's messaging you?" He doesn't yell, he doesn't accuse, he just asks. Instead of reassurance, she explodes. "Why are you always checking on me? You're suffocating me. You're so controlling. I can't breathe with you." Within minutes, he's apologizing for asking a question any healthy partner has the right to ask. Later, he finds out the truth. She wasn't reacting out of hurt. She was reacting out of fear of being caught. Her attack wasn't random, it was calculated. That's the key, men. When the truth threatens exposure, the best defense is offense. By attacking you, she shifts the spotlight from her behavior to your supposed flaws. And if you believe her frame, you'll silence your instincts and stop asking questions altogether. Now let's be clear, some men truly are controlling. If you demand her passwords, track her every step, or isolate her from friends, that's not love, that's paranoia. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about basic questions. Where were you? Who is this new friend? Why are you always coming home late? These aren't acts of control. These are acts of care. And a faithful woman welcomes them because they come from love and concern. A woman who has nothing to hide doesn't punish your curiosity. She meets it with openness. So here's the red flag. If every time you ask for clarity, she attacks your character instead of answering your question, you're not being controlling, you're being manipulated. And the danger is this. Over time, her accusations rewire your mind. You begin to doubt yourself. You stop asking questions. You tell yourself, "I don't want to seem insecure," or "Maybe I am controlling." That's exactly what she wants, for you to silence yourself while she continues unchecked. Men, remember this Stoic truth. Questions build trust. Accusations destroy it. If she makes you feel guilty for asking simple, natural questions, that guilt is not born from your insecurity. It's born from her fear of being found out. This is the third red flag. When she says, "You're being too controlling," don't get lost in her words. Step back. Observe. Were your questions unreasonable, or were they basic acts of care? If they were fair and she still attacked you, it's not about you being controlling. It's about her being exposed. 4. I just want us to be honest with each other. On the surface, this one sounds perfect. After all, honesty is what every man wants, right? Finally, she says she's ready for transparency. Finally, she says she wants real communication. You hear those words and think, this could fix everything. But here's the deception. She's not asking for honesty. She's setting the stage for selective honesty. That means she gets to dig deep into your life, your past, your fears, your insecurities, while carefully curating what she reveals about hers. It looks like vulnerability, but it's actually control. She asks about your childhood traumas, your heartbreaks, your mistakes. And like a good man, you open up. You share because you believe honesty builds intimacy. But when you flip it back, when you ask about her new coworker, why she's been distant, or why she hides her phone, the tone shifts instantly. Suddenly, you're interrogating. Suddenly, you're controlling. Suddenly, she accuses you of not trusting her. Do you see the trick? She uses your desire for honesty against you. She makes you feel guilty for wanting the same openness she demanded from you. I've heard this story from countless men. A woman will say, "I feel closer when you tell me everything." And he, wanting to connect, opens his soul. But when he asks her even the simplest questions, she dodges, deflects, or attacks. Meanwhile, While he's busy spilling his secrets, she's carefully hiding hers, often the very things that would set off alarm bells in his gut. This is the cruel genius of selective honesty. It gives you just enough truth to keep you calm, while hiding the truth that would shatter the illusion. She feeds you scraps of vulnerability, so you feel guilty for asking for a full meal. Men, real honesty is mutual. It flows both ways. It doesn't punish curiosity. It doesn't ration the truth like a weapon. It doesn't make you feel crazy for wanting clarity. So here's the red flag. If she shares small, safe details but shuts down when the questions cut closer to her behavior, that's not honesty. That's strategy. And strategy and secrecy almost always points to betrayal. The Stoics remind us that truth is the foundation of virtue. Epictetus wrote, "If you seek truth, you will not seek victory by dishonorable means." But manipulation thrives in dishonor. When her honesty feels one-sided, when it leaves you confused instead of secure, understand this. You're not dealing with openness. You're dealing with control. This is the fourth red flag. When she says, "I just want us to be honest with each other," don't just listen to the words. Watch how it plays out. Because real honesty will set you free, but selective honesty will keep you trapped in a web of lies. Men, you've now seen the truth. 4 lies that sound innocent but carry the weight of betrayal. 1. I just haven't been in the mood lately. 2. I just want to focus on myself right now. 3. You're being too controlling. 4. I just want us to be honest with each other. Each one may sound harmless in the moment, but together they form a pattern. A pattern designed to confuse you, silence your instincts, and make you doubt your own reality. And that doubt is the enemy. Because the moment you doubt yourself, you lose the clarity to see her actions for what they are. But here's the truth, and I want you to never forget it. Actions never lie. Words can twist, stories can flip, but her behavior will always reveal the reality. The Stoics remind us that a man's power comes not from chasing answers, but from mastering his own perception. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them." In other words, don't get lost in her words. Trust your judgment. Trust your gut. It's not paranoia, it's perception. The right woman will never make you feel like a detective in your own relationship. She won't punish you for asking simple questions. She won't ration out honesty like a weapon. She won't call your care controlling. She won't turn her growth into a wall that shuts you out. Love, when it's real, makes life clearer, not more confusing. So if you've seen these lies in your own life, don't argue, don't beg, don't lose yourself chasing her words. Step back, observe, let her actions speak. And if they reveal the truth you've been avoiding, have the strength to walk away. That's not weakness, it's mastery. And men, this is why Stoic Reflections exists. To give you the clarity, the wisdom, and the strength to rise above manipulation. Because confusion isn't love, and silence isn't peace. If this message gave you clarity, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit that like button so more men wake up. Subscribe right now, because every week we break down the hidden truths no one else will tell you. Drop a comment below. Tell me what city you're watching from, or share the moment you realized something wasn't right. Your story could be the spark that helps another man see clearly. And share this video with a brother who needs to hear it. Remember, manipulation thrives in silence. Truth spreads when men like you speak it, live it, and share it. Stay awake, stay sharp, and never let anyone convince you that confusion is love. This is Stoic Reflections, and your strength begins now.